Hi everyone, I'm Farzana and today I will be talking about question 1, CCR, which is how does your product use or challenge conventions and how does it represent social groups or issues? My film opening product both follows and challenges the conventions through key technical elements such as camera technique, editing, and lighting. My graded critical reflection illustrates how my film product represents social groups and issues and how it carries the message to my audiences. My film product's genre is psychological mystery and it follows the genre's conventions through different critical elements such as the narrative structure. My film uses a non-linear structure, which is a story that does not follow the narrative in a chronological order. For example, in my film opening, product begins with my main protagonist experiences her childhood trauma, which later explains in the film how it affects her life as a student that deals with mental health issues such as schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder. My film product uses a non-linear structure because it is commonly used in psychological mystery films to create anticipation, suspense, and a sense of mystery which allows the audiences to form their own interpretation. Furthermore, I chose to use a non-linear structure because in psychological films, the disorder sequence could mirror an individual's chaotic state of mind, and it also illustrates how the character's traumatic memories could disrupt her present life. This allows the audiences to experience the character's mind on how disoriented and chaos create confusion amongst the audience as it can reflect how the character processes her past traumatic memories and her current reality. In most psychological film, the lighting usually uses dark, cold, and dull, also blue need to reflect narrative structure and the main protagonist's mental state of mind. I choose to use blue tone lighting for my product to enhance the sense of isolation, emptiness, and my main protagonist's detachment from her surroundings. This lighting represents how she is dissociated from reality and how deeply isolated her surroundings are. Other than that, I use black and white in my product, which challenges conventions in psychological films, such as the film from my research analysis, which is Shutter Island. The film uses bright and natural color instead of black and white to distinguish the past from the present. I choose black and white effects to illustrate my main protagonist's traumatic past. I decided to enhance the memory scenes by using the grainy and blurred effects, which gradually intensifies in distortion as the memories are progressively closer towards the mother. This represents that the mother is the key to her past trauma, which led her to develop dissociative identity disorder and schizophrenia, which shaped her sense of identity. The editing also illustrates how the resurfacing memories of her traumatic past merges with her current reality. This challenges the conventions in most psychological films, as the blurred effect is often used to gradually focus on the character. My film product represents social issues such as schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder. My film demonstrates how childhood trauma could have a significant impact on an individual's mental health and how a child's brain could be easily shaped by traumatic experiences. My film raises issues such as schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder and how it influences the way a child interprets the world as they grow up. According to Cambridge University Press, China found that a young group of adults reported that those who have experienced childhood trauma had a significantly higher rate on having psychiatric symptoms and disorders. One of mental health issues that is developed from childhood trauma is schizophrenia, which is a severe mental health disorder that affects the way an individual feels, thinks, and behaves, leading them to lose touch with reality. I produced my film to highlight mental health issues as my country, Brunei, is facing a silent crisis of 13,000 individuals sought mental health treatment in the year 2024, as family breakdowns and economic hardships are increasing the alarming trend. According to 2020 statistics, approximately 4,000 people in Brunei are diagnosed with severe psychiatric disorders such as schizophrenia, while 7,000 people are undergoing treatments, with 33% of these patients being young patients. Overall, 2 deaths were reported related to schizophrenia in Brunei, and over 1.5% of the population is diagnosed with mental health issues. Considering the statistics presented, this is a significant concern as mental disorders are openly discussed or taken seriously enough. As a result, many individuals remain undiagnosed and they continue to struggle due to stigma and prejudice within the community, which can discourage them from seeking professional help. Mental disorders are often misunderstood and sometimes are perceived as being caused by spirit possession or black magic. This contributes to individuals with mental health being labeled as crazy. Furthermore, in comparison of Brunei and Indonesian statistics for schizophrenia, similarly with Brunei, Indonesia is heavily stigmatized by the community, and the psychotic disorder is very common, of approximately 6.7 per 1,000 household. This raises serious concerns as 33.7% of people are not receiving treatment and 23.6% are unable to afford medication. Both Brunei and Indonesia's awareness of mental health is improving, but stigma and prejudice prevent open understanding. Through my film product, I want to help people understand more about the causes and characteristics of mental health disorders such as schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder. My film also illustrates how an individual struggles with these mental disorders and how they perceive and experience the world, encouraging audiences to look past their abnormal behavior and respond with greater empathy and awareness. Although dissociative identity disorder are considered rare and underdiagnosed worldwide, again, I choose to raise awareness through my film product as audiences today are more likely to engage in films rather than reading and are more informed about mental disorders. My aim is to illustrate that DID can be as severe as schizophrenia and therefore deserve greater recognition and awareness.